Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everybody? What a day. What a day. How you doing? All right, let me double check sound and all that good stuff real quick. And we're going to get started. Looks good to me. Tell me if we look good, and we're going to get on started. Oh, baby. What a day. What a day. You love opening that portfolio. You wake up out of bed, step out, put your slippers on, brush your teeth or whatever you do. Check that portfolio down 10%. Oh, goodness gracious. What do we do? Nah, just joking. What's up, everybody? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? What's up, everyone? It's been quite the day. I do believe I have figured out what is going on. It's going to be a lot more irritating than you may believe. We're going real tinfoil hat here. Don't hate me, but I do believe I have a pretty not bulletproof isn't the word, but a pretty solid theory as to why this market did pull back. We just got to 300 people in the chat in 1 minute. Shout out to you. Welcome in. Smash that like button on the way in. Subscribe if you're new. But yeah, no, I do believe I have a pretty solid reason, kind of all BS aside. I do think I kind of understand what's going on here. Funnily enough, I made a video last night kind of going over, the reason why I don't trade in moments like this. And then here you go. The next day we see this type of stuff. Yeah, should be interesting. Look, let me just double check a couple things. And I have a pretty solid reason as to why we're seeing all this from a technical perspective. Obviously, there is all the good stuff with the Fed. Let's see. And I just want to double check a couple things in terms of what we got back from the Fed earlier, just to make sure that all of my stats are statting. But yeah, it's quite the day. But I mean, the sucky part is what we're seeing. Makes a lot of sense. So what we're gonna go over is we're gonna go over from a technical and fundamental reason. And if you ever see me looking up, I am looking at a screen up there, by the way. But yeah, I want to talk about from a fundamental and technical reason as to why we saw this market pull back real quick. We'll go from that into some technical analysis on a bunch of different cryptos. I basically just DCA'd into every single crypto that I own. That's basically what I did just now as a result of what we're seeing in the market right now. So yeah, what a day. So I'm just going to give it another couple seconds. I'm going to answer a couple of your questions. And yeah, well, so give me about 2 more minutes. Let me let more people join, get the notifications out, all that good stuff. Then we'll go into my reasoning. This is probably going to be a quicker stream, maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes. So hopefully we can get a good bit of content out there. I hope you guys are having a good day. Listen, I know at the end of the day, it's not fun. We got crypto dropping and all that good stuff, but not to be all like weird and, I don't know if this is virtue signally or not, but I do think at the end of the day, we should all still feel blessed, right? We're alive in a bull market. Even though today sucks, we're alive in a bull market, and you never know how long we're going to have bull markets and bear markets in crypto. It might just be things might slow down eventually, right? So we got to learn to enjoy it. One thing that I do want to say to hopefully ease some of your nerves, this is my 3rd bull market now. I've seen days like this at least 2-3 dozen times now. So don't feel like today is something special, something scary, something bad. Quite frankly, it's not really all that scary. And I'm going to give you a couple key reasonings as to why that is the case today from a fundamental perspective when it comes to the economical side of things, and then from more of a technical perspective. There are repeating patterns that I have noticed that somewhat predicted that what we saw today would happen. Obviously, there's no really way of knowing it, but once you do start actually looking at history, you can start to say, oh, well, it makes sense that what we saw today happened. I actually made a video yesterday that said I'm probably done trading in 2024. That does probably still remain to be the case. This is exactly the type of stuff I was talking about. There's too much uncertainty in this cool down that we're seeing right now. It just doesn't make sense. So I closed down a lot of my trades, a lot of my margin trades. I left some of my long-term ones open, but my short-term, mid-term ones just closed them down. This was, probably 15 hours ago, 16 hours ago, and here we are today. It's not like I knew this was coming. I obviously had no idea this was coming, but you can start to see the signs. And if you can start to look for those signals early, you can really start getting a jump on the market. And so, yeah, all righty. I am about to get, there is a chance that I do get a little bit tinfoil hatty on you guys in a little bit here. So put on your tinfoil hats. I'm about to start calling lizard people. I'm going to make fun of Jeff Bezos and probably piss off Elon Musk. Just joking. But, it's days like today, man. I kind of feel weird on days like today, honestly, because it's not like I'm excited. Obviously, I'm not excited that the market's down, but I'm such an advocate believer, or just an advocate, an avid believer that In the world of crypto, crypto is a slingshot. Bull markets are slingshots. And what that means is that in order for you to go forward, you have to get pulled back. You have to get pulled back. You have to just let go, and then you can go forward. And so in days like today, when we get pulled back, we just got to let go, and we just have to be okay with it, because that's what opens the door to go forward, all of which we'll go over in a second here. And so with that said, let's jump onto a few of these chats real quick. Give a couple little hellos and what's ups to a few of you, and then let's jump into my theory as to what is going on today. So, of course, shout out to all of you. Cats and Cod says the bull runs over. Pack it up. Disagree. The lizard people are manipulating the market. Sell, sell, sell. Psych boy, buy, more PEPE. I'm with that. I'm on board. It's all going to zero. I disagree, but I guess we'll see. Let's see what we got. Zach, how's it going, champ? Seek Explorer, fine. How you doing? Michael Myers, how's it going? Let's see who else we got in here. Who's in the chat today? Shout out to Dark Forces. Merry Christmas to you, my friend. It's not over, guys. Trust me. It's time to buy more. I'm on board with that. How we doing, everybody? Hello from the beach. Oh, shout out to you. Gulf Shores vacation guide. I've been to Gulf Shores quite a few times. Not too far away. A couple hours away. So shout out to you. Tomorrow will be a new day. Absolutely. Black Swan event incoming. I don't think so. Sell it all. No, disagree. Vertical AI. Interesting. What's that? All right, everybody. Let's get into it. Put your tinfoil hats on. I'm about to hit you with some weird shit. And look, okay, look, you guys know I rant a good bit. I'm just going to quick rant real quick. The theories that I have are completely just subjective. And I hope you guys understand that I've just been in this market for 3 bull runs and 2 bear markets now, okay? I joined in during a bull market. So I had that bull market, a bear market, the 2020 bull market, the last bear market, this bull market. So this is bull market number 3 for me. I have started to just develop these theories over time just based off of what I see. I stare at charts and I look in news all day, every day for 5 years. So maybe just take what I say today with a grain of salt, but this is what I see. Okay, let's get into it. Let me move some stuff around here. Let me put you over there. Let me get my screen share going. Let's get it. Cheers, everybody. Let's rock and roll. Okay, let me get into my conspiracy theory. Okay, so reason number 1 as to why and I don't need to do that yet. Reason number 1 as to why the market is dumping right now. Obviously, okay, so there's a combination effect going on. Reason number 1 that the market is dropping is because the Fed rate cut did happen. So what I need you all to understand is that the Fed cutting interest rates opens up the door for lowest interest rates, which are lower interest rates, which obviously makes money cheaper. When money is cheaper, that trickles down into risk on assets. When that trickles into risk on assets, oftentimes those risk on assets perform better over time in a lower interest rate environment, which is why, of course, when interest rates go up, risk on assets like crypto go down. When interest rates go down, crypto go up. But what you have to understand is everyone knew this was coming. Everyone expected this to happen. And in these moments in which everyone expects something to happen and then it does happen, it's very common for the market to pull back. This is called buy the rumor, sell the news. This isn't a major contributing factor as to why today happened, but it is a portion of it. I do believe that what we saw today was a liquidation event. I believe that there were a bunch of different things, little tiny events that happened that caused the market to start pulling back, hitting liquidation level after liquidation level, causing the panic sell that finished the liquidation event, or hopefully it's finished. Now, this was number 1. Sell the news event. Very simple, very easy to understand. Everyone figured the rate cut was coming. The rate cut happened. The issue is, though, something was talked about that people maybe thought might happen, but weren't 100% sure about. Okay. What that was the fact that the Fed basically said, listen, I will apologize. I was in a meeting with my CPA. I just got back. So I'm just lightly brushed on this. But what I saw, at least, was they basically said that they were unsure whether or not they would or wouldn't have to reduce the amount of rate cuts next year, meaning that the quantitative easing, one of them, the quantitative, the QE, okay, that they're planning on doing for next year is not possibly going to be as much or as big or as effective as they hoped. Now, what does this mean? Well, it means that the Fed is starting to become a little bit worried about inflation. And obviously, what you need to understand is that in an environment in which there's a lot of inflation, prices go up, people have less money, not good. Okay, so now we're in a situation where they're actually a little bit worried about inflation. So they're thinking about possibly reducing the amount of cuts that they're going to do. And as I just mentioned to you before, interest rate cuts are good for things like crypto because they're risk on assets, and risk on assets perform better under environments in which money is cheaper, of course. And so people thought, well, we knew the cut was coming, but we didn't know that was coming. That's not too great. We don't want to hear that. I don't like it. And so you know what they do? They overreact. They start to sell their crypto. That's the general gist of what I've gathered. Okay. I think that is a disguise. Okay. This is where I'm going to get a little weird. Okay, this is where I'm going to get a little bit weird. And someone says it went from 4 to 2 cuts next year. I didn't see that. I just got back home. But if that is the case, it falls in line perfectly with what I'm saying. People weren't expecting this. Okay. And so when you weren't particularly expecting it, boomski, doomski, doomski, here we go. The market's going to pull back a little bit. But here's where I'm going to get a little bit weird. Okay. Let's see. Here we go. The important thing to note is that the Fed reduced cuts could possibly not happen at all, depending on Trump's administration and its policies. Exactly. What does this introduce? Okay. In moments like this, they don't know. The Fed doesn't particularly know. We also don't know what's going to happen with the Fed as a result of Trump, like he said, and that causes what's called uncertainty. Investors don't like uncertainty. The moment there's uncertainty, people freak out, they shit their pants, market go down. Okay, cool. I am going to put on a tinfoil hat and things are going to get weird. I'm under the belief that in moments like this, when you start to see the market somewhat pull back a little bit, the whales, or the lizard people as I call them, okay, use this as an opportunity to hunt liquidity. Meaning that if they see the market somewhat going down as a result of something like this, some sort of uncertainty, they try to capitalize on that uncertainty by causing liquidation events. This may include selling their crypto, flipping that little switch that causes the market to start to pull back, forcing these liquidations. When you get liquidated, it funnels into the exchange, into the platform, which then funnels up into the lizard people's pockets. Their goal, in my brain, is to take as much of your crypto as possible because there's only limited crypto out there, and they want as much of this new thing as they possibly can get before it's too late. That's my general belief. Now, I'm not just making this up in my head. We can see this through liquidations. We can see this through data. And what I'm actually going to go ahead and show you is the fact that, when you combine these things together, it actually starts to paint a picture that happen pretty much all the time. In these moments in which there's a little bit of uncertainty, something triggers. Because what I want you to understand is this. Sure, retail is around. Don't get me wrong. Retail is here. They're there. They're doing all this good stuff. But if you truly believe that these market pullbacks are solely because of retail and we're not seeing institutional movement manipulation, I just don't believe that. I don't believe that personally. I don't think that could be true, quite simply. Okay. And so with that in mind, what I want to show you are some of the data points that you can look at that support what I'm talking about, because I can't prove it, but I can show you what I see, at least. So first and foremost, let me kind of rewind that a little bit. Okay. So again, we have the Fed. We have what the Fed said that causes uncertainty. That's a fundamental reason for the market to start pulling back a little bit. There's another fundamental reason why the market may pull back a little bit as well. That stacks on top of that reason. So you get a little pullback as a result of the Fed. Then you get an extra pullback because of what's called profit taking. Now, profit taking happens with Bitcoin specifically because Bitcoin hits the same level since September and then it pulls back and people take profits. It's happened over and over again. I'm going to show you in a minute. And what I've come to recognize is the fact that in this period over the last month, Bitcoin dominance is going up because people are funneling their money back from altcoins into Bitcoin. Therefore, if Bitcoin goes down, the rest of the market's going to go down more. And so in a period in which Bitcoin starts to pull back a little bit, then a little bit more because of this second profit-taking thing, that is going to lead a lot more people to sell their altcoins, causing a market crash like today. Now, let me show you what I'm talking about for this second reason, because the second reason is when things start to get a little weird. Okay, this is when things are going to get a little weird. So what I said before is obviously, again, we have the Fed. The second thing that we have is profit taking. Now, when I say profit taking, quite simply, Bitcoin has done something very consistent for the last few weeks and something also very consistent for the last few months. So look, what I've come to recognize is every time Bitcoin hits what's called here, watch, let me just show you. This will be easier. Okay. Boom. When a crypto has a move to the upside, then it goes down, then it goes back up, you can use something called a Fibonacci retracement tool. The Fibonacci retracement tool is a great tool to predict where there's going to be liquidity levels. So what you can do is you can go from that swing high down to your swing low, and that's going to give you a golden zone called the 618 to 786 box. This is a very important point of resistance. When cryptos surpass this golden box, they then open up what are called Fibonacci extensions, which mean that you're likely going to not only continue higher, but past that previous high that you had. So in an instance like this, it usually can predict just how high you can go. What I've come to recognize recently is that every time Bitcoin clears this golden box and goes up into this zone between the 1.272 fib extension and the 1.618 fib extension, the market pulls back, investors take profits, and the market dumps. Don't believe me? Let me show you. So what we can see here, let's go back to September. Okay, let's go back to, I mean, this works. Let's just go back to right here. This is fine. So what we're going to do is we want to track the Fibonacci retracement from this high down to this low down here. So what we're going to go in and do is we're going to draw our Fibonacci level from that high all the way down to that low. What you can see is that Bitcoin got rejected off the golden zone, got rejected to the downside, worked itself up, hit that green to blue box, and immediately got rejected, in which the price then pulled back about roughly 7%, causing the market pullback. This was back in October. Then we go a little bit further. Now we can track this swing low, or this swing high to this swing low. If we go from this swing high to this swing low, what you can see is that Bitcoin's price cleared the golden zone, broke up or got rejected off of it, boom, cleared it, goes up to this green and blue box, and immediately gets rejected back to the downside, in which it then falls 8%. Go a little bit further. This is the only exception I was able to find, and there will always be exceptions, in which you can see Bitcoin's price goes up, golden zone, comes back, flies through the golden box, clears it, hits the green to blue box, maintains it, continues higher. Good for Bitcoin. This is an exception. Let's go a little bit further now. What you can see here, Bitcoin's price comes up, boom, now we're on this swing high to this swing low, clears the golden box, goes to the green and blue box, gets rejected, people take profits, and then it pulls back on this one, roughly 8%. I'm going to keep going, and it's going to get annoying, but I need you to understand this keeps happening over and over again. We're going to go from this swing high to this swing low, boom to boom. What happens? Bitcoin's price clears the gold box, goes up to the green to blue box, gets sent right back to hell, right back to the bottom side. And what do you know? We get to the modern day. Bitcoin, swing high, swing low, clears the golden box, hits the green to blue box on the nose, and immediately gets rejected back to the downside. Now, I don't know if you guys call that a coincidence. Tyler Hill does not call that a coincidence. When Bitcoin has done the same exact thing 7 out of 8 times in the last 3 months, it's just a pattern. Why does it happen? I don't know. I think traders kind of accidentally happened, and then they were like, oh, this keeps happening, and then they recognize the pattern, so they're like, okay, well, then that means that's why I need to take profits, and they take profits so other people take profits, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Eventually, this micro Fibonacci extension level will not cause pullbacks of this nature. The pattern will change and people will go on from it. But I think this can't be a coincidence because it's happened 7 out of 8 times in the last 3 months. So let's go back to what I told you in the beginning. We had the Fed do what everyone expected. So we bought the rumor, sell the news, and they added a little bit of uncertainty, which causes the market to pull back a little bit. Then when you add in on top of that, the fact that Bitcoin is pulling back off the same exact level and people are taking profits off the same exact level that they've been taking profits off of for 3 months straight, it gives you even more of a pullback. So now we have a bigger pullback. And in a moment in which we have the bigger pullback, I believe the whales, or the lizard people, as I call them, I believe they step in, use this pullback as a disguise to continue it a little bit further to hit those liquidation levels. Because if you don't believe me, let me show you. What I made a video on last night, and I know I'm getting really, really tinfoily here, but if you think I'm wrong, let me finish and then tell me I'm wrong. But what we can do is we can go to CoinGlass. Actually, I want to go back to yesterday's video. In yesterday's video, I said I'm probably done trading crypto for the rest of 2024. That was 17 hours ago. And I started saying shit is getting weird. And I don't want to be a part of it because when it gets weird, the lizard people start doing weird shit. Here we are today. What you can see is that we were looking at the liquidation map. Now, if you don't know what the liquidation map is, let me explain it to you, okay? So this is what we're looking at. What you can see on this chart are the amount of liquidations that will happen if Bitcoin's price goes up or if it goes down. Okay, the red line is Bitcoin's price. So this is Bitcoin's price. Anything to the right of Bitcoin's price is the price going up. Anything to the left of Bitcoin's price is the price going down. The red line are the total accumulative amount of liquidations that will happen, which means forced closings of positions that end up funneling up to the top of crypto if the market goes down. The green line represents the amount of liquidations that will happen if the market goes up. Now, in yesterday's video, we clearly could see, look, watch this. Is this one I talked about it? No, right here. So what you can see is that on the one day, last night, there were a bunch of liquidations that would happen if this market went up. What I pointed out, though, where there was way more liquidations that would happen to the downside on a longer term time frame if this market went down, not only on the 7-day, but the 30-day. And so what we knew is that right there, right around, what number is that? right at $101,000. There were hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars of liquidations that would happen if the market could just so happen to get right past $102,000. And so as the market starts pulling back and pulling back and pulling back, it starts to recover. And then bam, capitulation towards the downside. So interestingly enough, as we got closer and closer to that liquidation level, something caused the market to fall further, faster, and accelerate quicker, causing all those liquidations to happen. Now today, when we go look at something like the 7-day, looky here. There are now substantially less liquidations that happen if this market goes down versus if this market goes up. There are now, well, in comparison, right? Now there's more liquidations if this market goes up on the 7-day. There are more liquidations that happen if the market goes up on the 1-day. There's barely any liquidations left if the market goes down. 1 day, 7-day. Now the 30-day is not there yet. And this is the one that spooks me a little bit because there are still people who don't think that this shit can get worse. And the more people are confident that this market won't go down, the more likely it is that it will go down. So when I see this many liquidations, about $4,099,000, I just assume Bitcoin's probably going to hit them and liquidate them. And so when you add all of these things together, what the Fed said, the general profit taking that we're seeing in the market, and the whales doing the weird shit that they do to force these liquidations, it's the perfect formula for a pullback exactly like this. That's what I think happened. I know that was a little weird. Okay, I know that's not your typical traditional explanation of a pullback. Some people will say, well, people are uncertain, and some people say this. Well, what I will say, institutions don't paper hands. Institutions are the reason we got to $110,000. So if you think they're the ones who are just getting rid of it and selling it because of Fed uncertainty, and that's what's forcing this market down, I just don't believe you. Institutions are the least paper-handed people in the industry in general. Retail don't own enough, in my opinion, and haven't sold enough, in my opinion, to cause this. The only thing that could have is retail liquidations, which we saw hit. But what gets them there? The lizard people. That's how I see it. So that's my theory. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to read the chat a little bit here because I'm curious to see what you guys think. But this is my general thesis that I've created over the last 5 years of watching this market every day. It's the same shit. One little catalyst, another little catalyst makes a big pullback that gets way worse because of something. Something always makes it worse. And it's not retail capitulation because retail capitulation numbers don't go up. They go up a little bit, but not enough to cause that. It has to be something else. What could it be? Could this market be manipulated so that people make a lot of money off of it at the expense of the everyday person? That's what I see. So I'm going to take a sec. What do you guys think? Let's put some thoughts up on the chat, especially if you disagree with me. If you disagree with me and you think it's for another reason, let me know. But what I'm going to do is afterwards, I'm going to tell you what I do to avoid all this bullshit. Okay? What I do to avoid this, how I can make gains consistently without letting this impact me too much. So that's what we're going to do next, but I'm curious about what you guys say. Let's go. Here we go. All right. This is just a correction. Anyone saying this run is over, just clowning you to liquidate your bag to scoop it up. New to the channel, you spot on, dump on purpose. I just found your channel and I'm glad I did. Yeah. Buy the dip as we will. Reptilians, yes, indeed. You would think that the exchanges shouldn't be able to literally do things that benefit them, that fuck you over, but they do all day. And remember, I own one of the biggest influencer relations agencies in all of crypto. I know what's going on behind the scenes, and it's fucking absurd, quite frankly. Just take that for what it is. Okay. Exactly. There has also been a couple week-long bearish divergence on the daily candles. Yeah, it's just overbought as well. That's something that you have to consider. You're a smart man. I've been listening to you for a couple months already. Exactly. You guys get it. So what I'm gathering here is we all have our tinfoil hats on. And what I'm trying to wonder is at some point, do we even have fucking tinfoil hats on? Or are we just saying what's happening? You know, I get a little bit nervous about speaking like this because I'm like, you know what happens. I'm just telling you, never mind. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. But just understand, I truly, genuinely believe, like, I'm going to cut the bullshit. I'm going to stop kind of hyping things up a little bit. And I'm just be honest with you here. I genuinely believe that this market is built against you. I 100% believe this market is built against you. It has to be. The more that someone can own of it, the more control over it that they can have. You don't think that is incentivizing for the people at the very top who don't want you to have control to try to force you out of it? But just break it down like that. Just be honest with yourself. You don't think so? I think so. I genuinely believe that. When they have the ability to see where you can lose and can force it down to those levels that will make you lose. You don't think they will? I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? You think they really, really like crypto? Be dead ass honest. Do you really think the people at the top that we don't even know of, that they actually like crypto? Be honest. Of course not. Of course not. There's an opportunity for everyday people to become someone. Of course they don't want that. Duh. It's just how it is. It's not like we're not playing victim here. It's just what it is. Grow up. And so, of course, that. So when I put all these things together, that's how I think. So the next thing that I want to give you is, how do I avoid this? How do I avoid this? How the hell did last night I decide, you know what? I'm just pulling these trades. I'm pulling all my midterm and short-term trades. I'm not trading anymore for the rest of the year. I'll leave my long-term stuff alone. That was coincidence. It was an accident. But there were things that happened that I noticed before this happened that saved my ass today. Because I believe it would have been 3 across 6 different exchanges. I had about 17 short-term trades open with tight stop losses. If those stop losses would have been hit, I would have lost $44,000 today. And I just so happened to close them mostly at break even. How? Because of some signs that I'm going to go over with you now. Okay? Let's jump into the chat for a second. All right. That was an interesting thought. It's all a conspiracy until the proof comes out years later. It's time we start to understand we've known the truth the whole time, but don't trust our own thoughts. Honestly, you got it. That's spot on, guys. Okay. The question I constantly ask myself is, does this type of market manipulation make it nonsensical to trade leverage? Fuck yeah. Yeah, a little, but I'll explain what I do. All right. Is it possible the market is being manipulated by people that hold the power and don't want to let go? You're damn skippy. It's that simple. I just don't know why people don't talk about it more. All right, shout out to you, champ. Accident. Genuinely accident. Okay, let's get into it. So there's a couple things, and honestly, I don't have this written down, so I'm just gonna kind of freestyle off the dome, just kind of thinking about the things that I do. Okay, so what do we do? So there's a couple ways to avoid this. What I want you to understand is, first and foremost, your win ratio will always be less than it's supposed to be. I need you to understand that, because it's going to be actually very important. You could have a strategy that ups your win ratio to 60%, meaning 60% of the time you win, 40% of the time you lose. Remember, as long as you win 1% more of the time you lose, you'll be a profitable trader. But there's a reason. Only, I think, 1 or 2% of traders are profitable over a 5-year period. Your win ratio will always, these are all just pieces of advice. I'm just fucking rapid fire at you, okay? Your win ratio will always be lower than it's supposed to be. Why? Because the only thing that you are factoring in is your strategy in comparison to history, in comparison to stats and data from history, but you're not factoring in unpredictable manipulation. For example, in a situation where crypto has historically pulled back off a key level of resistance, 8%, right? What you may do is open up a long trade once it falls 8%, expecting that you will be able to capitalize on that rebound, right? That's what you would think. But when the manipulation steps in and causes something you can't predict, because you can predict it, and it goes down an extra 3%, liquidates you, then goes up, although your strategy was correct, you hadn't anticipated the manipulation part. So your win ratio will always be less than it's supposed to be. The reason why I say that is because you need to understand that, and you need to know that it's okay. If you understand that it's okay, which I do, I understand it's fine. I'm going to win. I'm going to lose. It is what it is. Sometimes I can't control it. If you can do that, it helps you master your emotions. Because you know what will really piss you off? When you're supposed to be right, but some bullshit happens and you're not right. And you know what you're going to do? You're going to revenge trade. The lizard people that we call them here, they are looking for you to revenge trade. They want you to do something and do something, make a trade, lose, get fucking pissed, and then do something obnoxious, something that you shouldn't have done, that you wouldn't have usually done. And then in the revenge trade is when you're going to lose a lot. So one thing that I do to avoid all of this chaos is I don't revenge trade ever. If I'm pissed off that I lost, I just step back. Just let it go. It's the best you can do. Just let it go. And I just avoid it. The second thing I do, though, is I accept that my win ratio will always be less than it's supposed to be. That's fine, because if you can build it up enough, even when you have that pullback because of the manipulation and things, you'll be in a good spot. You'll be fine. Stop aiming to be right all the goddamn time. Understand you might only be right 60% of the time. You're going to lose 5% to bullshit. You're only right 55% of the time. But with proper stop losses and proper exit strategies, you'll be in a spot to where you're good. Even if you do lose a few, you're good. It's all good. It's all gravy, baby. That's the first thing. The second thing, you need to start to understand when to look for possible signs of liquidation. Okay, let me tell you how you can identify that. The easiest way for you to identify when a possible liquidity hunt is on the way is monitoring how do I explain this? What sentiment should be versus what it is versus what liquidations are at. Let me break that down. Hold on. Okay. Because this is what I caught yesterday. Okay. So last night, I was like, this market kind of sucks right now. Like, sure, Bitcoin is going up, but altcoins are stagnating and Bitcoin dominance is going up. Altcoins are kind of getting their asses whipped. This is a little spooky. And the reason why it was spooky to me was because at the same time that Bitcoin was kind of trending upwards in a bearish channel, the altcoin market was going sideways. Bitcoin dominance was climbing. And everyone that I knew, like the people I knew, were all like, man, this period sucks. Like friendly sentiment, or let's go personal sentiment, was down. The crypto fear and greed index was up, and liquidations were also up. Meaning that in a period where realistically nothing really good is happening, everyone I know isn't feeling that great, but for some reason, you see things like the crypto fear and greed index last night. What was it at? Like last night when we looked at it, what was it, like an 81 or some bullshit? Let's see. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, it was at an 81 in extreme greed last night. Okay, so it's in extreme greed for some reason, which does not make sense considering what was going on. And at the same time, there were a shit ton of liquidations below us. What does that mean? It means everyone, for some reason, was extremely greedy still, even though the market wasn't doing anything that great. People I knew were not feeling that great, and they were going long on huge bits of leverage. Look, what I want you to recognize is you see this little box right here. This is 100. This is 100x leverage, the orange. You see all this orange right here, guys? That's 100x leverage trades, meaning people were going long on 100x leverage in the same period where Bitcoin was at the top of an ascending channel, which are historically bearish. We were at the top of an ascending channel right here, but everyone was going long on 100x leverage. Why? It doesn't make sense. I actually don't have an answer for you. Quite frankly, I have no fucking clue why people were doing that. They were just doing that. And so in a moment where things don't align, it is the easiest time for liquidation events. Simple as that. Why? Because it's a very high moment of uncertainty. Uncertainty is the key for manipulation. Why? Because people don't know. People don't know. When you have periods where everyone will get liquidated if it goes up and everyone will get liquidated when it's go down, you know what's going to happen? It's going to go down and wick again, go up and wick, and go back to going sideways. And everybody involved just got screwed because no one was 100% confident to the point that they had proper exits in place, because there's no way to know when to exit because there's no clarity, right? But you're in a spot to where everyone can easily be reached on those liquidations. In a moment like this, it doesn't make sense. So the easiest way that I avoid it is that when shit doesn't make sense, I know this is kind of like that's a little arbitrary, I think is the word I'm looking for. When it just doesn't make sense, stop. Just get the fuck out. Honestly, just pull all the way back. Because when it doesn't make sense, it ain't a good time to invest. Because what I need you to understand is this. There are periods where leverage trading makes a ton of sense. For example, let me show you. Chill out. Boom. Okay. So when we look at something like Bitcoin, in a period where Bitcoin is consistently building support levels on top of previous resistance levels and continuing upwards, just like this, this is a good time to be leverage trading. Why? Because the macro trend is upwards. The general direction that you're going in is upwards. You've recently broken out of a consolidation or a sideways channel, and now you're just breaking out. You're just going. The trend is upwards. So in a moment in which the trend is upwards, the likelihood is that it will continue to go upwards until it doesn't. Obviously. It's better to trade in macro obvious trends and completely stop in these little sideways periods than it is to trade all the time. And so the moment where it goes up, then it pauses, and then something weird happens, and then nothing makes sense, it's an obvious flashing signal to just stop. Just stop. Completely. Just pull all the way back and figure this out. You guys know I call it structural clarity. I love what's called structural clarity. I like waiting for something to break out personally, right? If we're in a descending channel like this, right? Look at this. So if we're in not a descending channel, let's go a sideways channel. So imagine if crypto is like this, right? What you may think this is not pre-recorded. Hold on. Somebody said is this pre-recorded. I just wanted to let them know it's not. Anyway, whatever. So yes, do that. Anyway, so in a moment like this, you would think the correct thing to do in a moment in which the market is going generally sideways, which is what the altcoin market has been doing, is to leverage the bottom side and close on the top side, short the top side and close on the bottom side. Open longs, open shorts, open longs, open shorts. That's not true. That's much harder than you imagine. Why? Because in periods like this in which there are a ton of uncertainty, you know what's going to happen. There's going to be liquidations down here. There's going to be liquidations up here. And what's going to happen is it's not going to look like this. The market's going to wick down there, liquidate you there, wick up here, liquidate you here. And I don't like trading in this shit. It does not make sense. What I would rather see is this. You know why? Like if we're in a bear market especially, the likelihood is we're going to continue there. Even if we have moments where it recovers, we're likely to continue in that direction. And especially in a bull market, if we do this, I want to trade in this. I want to be buying in this because I can set stop losses. I can clear my, the bottom side. We just broke out. The macro trend is upwards. Therefore, it makes more sense to purchase in this because there's less uncertainty. Sure, there's risk because it might pull back in any moment, but there's less uncertainty. Trade in certainty, not in uncertainty. Very simple. Just because everyone is, okay, the market's going upwards, okay? If the market's going upwards, you may think, well, I don't want to open any long trades because everyone's greedy. Dude, we can stay in periods of greed for months or weeks at a time. We just did recently. So opening up those long trades and moving those stop losses up as you go is an easy way to win than trying to buy at the bottom of one of these. Because you never know when that wick to the downside, wick to the upside is coming, and boom, then we take off to the upside. And so because of that, what I like to do is that in periods of uncertainty or when shit looks weird, I just stop. I completely stop. Oh, I think we're back. The lizard people are trying to stop me there. I think the lizard people are trying to shut us down. Anyway, okay. I think we're all good. Okay. I wonder how long. I don't know how long ago I stopped. But what I basically said was that in periods of uncertainty or when shit starts to look weird, completely stop. Just completely stop. Okay. So that's the biggest thing that I do to avoid it. If you want to know in real time how I feel in those moments, look, go watch this video. After the stream, I want you guys to go watch this video right here. Last night, 18 hours ago, I'm probably done trading crypto for the rest of 2024. I was giving in real time my thoughts as to why I didn't like trading last night. And this is exactly what I mean. So that's the things. Accept that your win ratio is going to be lower than usual. When you notice weird shit going on, which is obvious in terms of sentiment, what sentiment should be and what liquidations are doing, pull all the way back. In these little choppy moments, these like sideways moments, pull back a little bit. Just pull back a little bit. Close down on the leverage trades. Trade the breakouts. Trade the macro moves. They're easy. Set your stop loss. Follow the trend. When the trend stops, pull back. Simple. So in periods of uncertainty, in periods of boringness, pull back on trades. What else do we have? Do you guys have any suggestions to anybody who's trying to avoid the manipulation? I'm trying to think of what else I can see. Those are the big ones. I know there's something else that I'm slipping on right now that I'd like to say. How do we avoid the manipulation? Obviously being aware that it's coming. I don't really need to say this one, but your stop losses are extremely important. It doesn't matter just how much. One trick. Okay, one other thing. One thing that I have started doing. Okay, one sec. One thing that I started doing recently is whenever I would trade. Okay, let's say for example, crypto goes boom, and then it breaks this level of resistance. It comes back up, and it's right here. Okay, and it's triggering down. Okay. In a moment like this, what I used to do is I used to actually open up, say, for example, a long trade. So say this is the golden box, okay, which it wouldn't look like this, but you get the point, whatever. We come back down to it, and my trade here is that I want to open up a long trade right here with a stop loss below this. Why? Because I'm under the belief that if we can flip this resistance level into a support level, we can use it to continue upwards, right? It's a pretty solid trade. RS flip trade. Textbook stuff, right? What I used to do is I used to set my stop loss directly under that because my mindset was, well, if we go under this support level, well, that RS flip failed. No. What I've come to recognize is there's something weird going on in which these support level, these little wicks are happening just all the time, in which there's a bunch of liquidations right here, right? And what happens is it comes down, it bounces. So everybody who was in on this, they get even more excited. The liquidations grow because they double that position size or triple it, expecting themselves to be right. Then it drops, recovers, and then goes and liquidates all of those people who doubled that move there. So what I've been doing recently is I've been moving my stop loss down below the order book, sell orders, or just the liquidation number. So if I come to recognize a ton of liquidations right here, what I do is I move mine down a little bit more. Yes, I am taking more of a risk. So in moments recently, I've been trading on less risky size positions. So instead of maybe 2% trades, I'm down to 1% trades because I'm taking bigger risk on my stop loss. Therefore, I need to take less risk in my my overall capital injection, if that makes sense. And so one thing that I do to avoid it, and I don't know if this is manipulation, but it's just something I've noticed, is I let this group get liquidated. And then obviously when it starts making a move, I'm usually good. So I've been moving my stop losses down a little bit, which is so sketchy. But yeah, there's that. So that's the three main things. Adjust stop losses in accordance to the idea that there may be manipulation. Don't trade in moments of uncertainty. Try to recognize periods where retail investors are becoming a little bit too high in liquidation ability and periods where it doesn't make sense. Because quite frankly, again, it just doesn't make sense. It's just as simple as that. The fact that many liquidations would happen off of 100x leverage right here is so stupid and ridiculous. The idea that people were going long on 100x leverage right here just because Bitcoin's at all-time highs, knowing that we're an ascending channel, is just dumb. And now, what was it? I retweeted it earlier. Hold on one second. Let's see. I mean, how many people got wrecked? $310 million liquidated in 60 minutes. As a result of people it doesn't make sense. So when you start to notice things that don't make sense, just get out. Simply, just get out and start to close it. Now, what I want you to understand, and a clarification I want to make, is I'm not talking about spot bags. I leave my spot bags alone. On days like today, I actually add to them. I buy. I don't sell out of all my spot bags just because something's looking weird. I just brace for impact, honestly. Like, the way that I see it is that we're in a car and this car is going to fucking run into walls just all the time. And my spot bags are me and that car. I'm aware that I'm going to run into a wall at some point, and I just hope for the best. Last night, I was like, man, this shit's getting weird. Might have a rough night. Next thing you know, I wake up, look at the portfolio, we down about 60K. And it's like, well, hell, what do you do? My spot bags, I leave them alone because you know what? This is another good nugget for those of you trying to avoid lizard people manipulation. The last thing that you want to do is sell. Okay, hold on. This is not financial advice. Take this with a grain of salt. Blah, 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 blah. The last thing that you want to do is sell into manipulation. My belief is that in these periods when this market is falling is actually the time where the people in control, whoever's forcing it, are accumulating the most. I have no proof of that. But my general thought process, they try to force you into selling and they force you into liquidations, because that's the two ways they can get you, right? They can either liquidate your leverage trades or force you to sell your spot bags, okay? And so what happens is that as you sell your spot bags, I think as the prices are lower, they're buying up, buying up, buying up, buying up. Now, I need to try to find some well tracking data to support that, but I just don't believe it's there. But that's the case. And so what I do is I never sell in periods like this. I just don't. I simply just don't. Because history has showed when you sell in periods like this, the likelihood of you losing is high. And what I also want you to remember is that anyone who bought crypto bought Bitcoin, for example, at any point this year before September and didn't sell in periods like this is up. If you just bought it and left that shit alone during moments like this, you'd be in profit. So I'm not changing that. Even though Bitcoin's all stupidly high, I ain't changing it. I take profits along the way up, but I don't sell on days like today. And I'm also egotistical. And I'm like, fuck you, lizard person, reptile. I'm not giving you my crypto. Maybe I've gotten a little schizophrenic as the years have gone by. I don't know, but it saved me a lot of money. And so overall, that's another little nugget. And I think that's all that I do. It's not super, I don't think it's super complicated. I feel like that's about it. So those are my general thoughts. That's why this market's falling. I feel like every time the market crashes big, we have the same conversation. But yesterday was the most notable, in my opinion, because I didn't see this coming. I'm not going to sit here and pretend. I hate when YouTubers do that. They're like, I knew it, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's fine to be like, hey, we knew it, like it did, but it's different. Like, people are losing money today. Get off your fucking high horse, relax. But I just felt this weird stuff. I was like, this just doesn't make sense. So I feel like I wanted to really get on stream today and talk about this because you have a good example if you go watch last night's video of what I meant when I'm like, yo, it's getting weird. Okay, so go check that out. Let's jump back into the chat for a little while. All right. Let's see. Anything. It's power, bro. He's the lizard. Jeff Bezos is the biggest lizard. All right. Team has kept me away in the green today. Could you take a look at the chart? Everything else I have is down. I get a little bit weird with getting paid to do like reviews and stuff on stream. I do appreciate it. Obviously, if you guys want to go check out Tima, feel free to do it. So shout out to, of course, Cartman McGee, and shout out to Bio Vitality. I appreciate the donations very, very much, my friends. I do say it at the beginning of every stream. Just because you donate and ask me to check something out, it's kind of like a promotion in some degree because you paid me to review it. I feel a little weird about that. So we're not going to be able to do that, but I do appreciate it a ton. And do feel free, everybody, go check it out if you want. Okay. Tyler Cooking. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I feel like, dude, don't get me started on this shit. But I feel a little crazy sometimes, honestly. Like, I'm like, yo, am I actually like losing my shit a little? Because look, 5.5 to 6 years in crypto will kind of like mess with your emotional landscape a little. Like, you'll kind of lose it a little bit. So I'm like, man, I feel like, you mix this in with the fact that I'm a professional MMA fighter, I really might be just a little schizophrenic. Well, my theories make sense. Then I start to think, those people who are actually schizophrenic and they go on these whole like bendies about like the government's tracking them. They also think their theories are bulletproof. But you guys are supporting my schizophrenia here. So we're just going to double down into it. Okay. All jokes. But you think XRP pays influencers? I don't think so. I've not seen it. I know 80% of the English-speaking YouTubers in crypto. I've never heard of that before, so I don't think so. Okay. Yeah, I think altcoin season will still happen. I think it'll be different than normal. I think it'll be faster than people expect. I do have a theory that 2025 is going to be a big disappointment in the world of crypto, just in the sense that I don't think it's going to be as insane as people think. I may completely be wrong about this. I'm in agreement with every one of the general thesis. Quantitative easing, interest rates, all these things. President SEC, crypto, cool. We get it. I believe that. But when everyone thinks 2025 is going to be the craziest year for all of crypto, it makes me feel like it's not going to be, just because I go against the tide all the time. So because of that, obviously, I just think everything's going to look different than people expect. And that is a reason why I have every intention of liquidating 60 to 70% of my entire crypto portfolio from now to March, April, roughly. That leaves me 30%. All of it will be profit. And that's fine with me. And if I'm wrong and the market keeps going up, my 30% will continue to make money. I'll sell more of it. I'll make more and more profit off that. And then when the bull market ends and the bear market starts, I'll reinvest some money and we'll be all good to go. I'm fine with missing profit. I just want to sell early than late. And I sold late last time. I ain't doing this shit again this time. That's my thought process. Okay. All right. Nobody's talking about crypto right now. Yeah, it's definitely going down a good bit. Okay. Let's do a little bit of TA, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap this bad boy up. Now, look, while you are in here, you guys know I got to do it. I just want to talk about this for you. Give me 2 minutes, and then we're going to get to it. So if you guys are also tinfoil hat people that believe that lizard people control these markets, what I would like you – oh, goodness. Drop the mouse. Hold on 1 second. The lizard people don't want me to use my mouse. Relax. Oh, should we make lizard people merch? How sweet would that be, right? Or no? Bad idea? Anyway, so, okay. If you're also somebody, look, listen. If you're somebody who is just simply trying to get better at this whole crypto thing, you've heard this a million times, but I do want to shout it out because I do think that it's actually making a lot of an impact on the community. What I want you to actually do is I want you to go and I want you to check out the Discord. Okay. In the Discord, I post my insights with Tyler. I just told them like an hour ago all the cryptos that I bought. I told them about some other cryptos that I'm buying, just giving them some general advice and guidance on things and things like that. We have daily live shows and live streams. We have technical analysis that gets reported every single day. We have fundamental analysis that goes out every single day. We have what's called TA to go for executive members, where you can request technical analysis on whatever crypto you want, and one of our analysts will do it. We have TA deep dives, and what these are, these are comprehensive reports. So look at this. Not that one. Hold on 1 second. These are comprehensive reports on something like Solana, for example. And it's a full report on, let me get that back up. There we go. Full report on what's happening on a weekly, daily, and perspective. Anybody who is in the Discord, please let them know in the chat real quick if you like it, if you enjoy it, and if it's worth it. We have live trading sessions coming very, very soon. We have executive classes on things like liquidation data. We have executive-only live streams. Yesterday, I did a market overview for them. We have premium classes on things like on-chain analysis, the Bollinger Bands, the Fibonaccis, and more. Tips with Tyler. These are 2 to 3 minute long videos going over cool stuff. We got beginners courses, leverage trading for beginners, technical analysis for beginners, and much more. Guys, in this community, I am seeing more growth and more gains than I've ever seen in my entire life. If we quite simply just scroll through, you can see, 1,000% gain, 2,000% gain, 30, 150, 130. Gain after gain, even on days like yesterday where the market wasn't doing much, people were making hundreds of percentages every single day. So if you want to be a part, there are people making gains today, which how beats me, honestly. These guys, absolute savages. DI Benz coming in. This was 30 minutes ago, 200% gain, $190 gain right there. And these are short trades and sells, right? I mean, they're shorting the market, making these gainers 400% there. So if you want to be a part of this, if you want to join it, check out the Patreon link down below. You can join for $17 a month. That gets you access to a lot of the stuff. If you're a beginner, I recommend $5 a month. If you're very advanced, we have 9 spots remaining for the executive tier. There are 60 spots available. We filled 51 of them already since yesterday. Feel free to go check that out down below if you want. And last things last, before I stop shamelessly shilling all my shit, one thing that you can do as well is if you do want to start trading some crypto today, you can use that BTCC link down below to go get a 10% bonus. Okay, so with that in mind, again, feel free to go check that out. Again, like I said, if anybody who is in the Discord server is here watching the stream, please feel free to let them know in the chat real quick how you feel about it. Now, let's do some quick TA. We're going to do some rapid fire TA real quick, okay? All right. Lizard people are pumping my house full of allergens. Okay, here we go. So Bitcoin, what is Bitcoin doing? I think Bitcoin's in a decent spot. Okay, Bitcoin's price is currently retesting the bottom side golden zone, but I don't really like that all too much. I'd rather just look at this from a channel perspective. I am not doing anything on Bitcoin until it breaks out of this. I don't like ascending channels. They almost always break to the downside from what I've been able to study. Sometimes they break to the upside. I don't know what type of catalyst could possibly cause this to go up. It's possible. I give it a 15 to 20% chance we break up here. I think more of an 85% chance we break to the downside. So because of that, I'm not doing anything on Bitcoin, especially knowing that there are a lot of liquidations under here still. So because of that, Bitcoin, I'm not really doing much right now. trading wise, I will tell you, I did do a spot purchase on Bitcoin today just as an FU to the lizard people, but it wasn't very, very sizable. It was a decent sized one just because we're down. I like buying on days like these days, but I'm not doing anything big on Bitcoin right now. Going a little bit forward, we're just going to go down the list. ICP, it is currently backtesting a major level of support. This red box has actually held a support for quite a while. So I did do a tiny purchase of ICP right here, but not very big, because if there was ever a time that we would get a rejection, it would, or a continuation to the downside, it would be here. This could be the perfect formula for ICP to actually set up some sort of A, B, C correction back to that golden zone. So I am being very careful. I think there's a chance it holds support, maybe like a 60% chance it holds support, 40% chance it continues lower. So even though I did do a little purchase, I'm not doing a big purchase here for ICP. Okay, this is all spot buys again. Jasmy, this is another one. What you can see, Jasmy is currently backtesting a major point of resistance, still trying to flip it into support. On top of that, Jasmy is also retesting this bottom side golden zone. Is it going to hold? I have no idea, but I'm willing to take a gamble. So I did buy a little bit of Jasmy for my spot bag here between the 3.5 and the 3.7 cent level right in here. If it continues lower, I do expect it to try to pull back towards that 3 cent level to possibly 2.5 cents. So I do have some purchase orders set in here if we do see Jasmy try to complete the ABC correction to the downside. Looking at Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu is back in the red box. This is the 5th time that it's tested the red box. So as a result of that, I did do a little bit of purchasing on SHIB here, but things are starting to get a little bit risky. The more times we hit this red box, the more likely we are to eventually lose it. So because of that, knowing that some sort of more macro ABC correction for SHIB could be on the way, I did a little bitty purchase, but nothing too sizable here. What you're going to recognize is that, there we go. So what you guys are going to recognize is that basically, this is going to be the same analysis for everything. I bought a little bit, but not a lot. Quite simple. XRP. XRP's price is holding up extremely well. I actually really like what I'm seeing from XRP right now. We got a second back test, which actually is a very good thing. I bought a little bit more of XRP than I did the rest because it did come back down and it's maintaining support outside of this descending channel, which is a very good sign. It actually tells me that we very well might see some sort of support hold. And hey, we might be going for that red box sometime soon. So I really like what I'm seeing from XRP. I did do a little bit of accumulating. I think in the grand scheme, macro scheme, this is still a decent time to buy, but it very well might trickle down a little bit further. So I would personally do a small buy and more laddered in purchases the lower it gets, because it does actually feel to me as if XRP could get a bounce sometime relatively soon. So I really like XRP. Looking at PEPE. Sorry, I'm getting a little parched here, but you guys know my game plan with PEPE right now is to see this general zone of support hold. I want to see one of these 4 support levels hold. They are holding right now. I have been accumulating within this level. My game plan was to accumulate between 18833 and 21006, and that is exactly what I did. I bought a good bit of PEPE in this box, but I told you, if PEPE loses this red box, we're coming back down to this previous low right here at 176. And man, if PEPE loses that green zone, guys, things are probably going to get a little ugly. So brace for impact. So obviously, I'm not doing gigantic purchases here because I was purchasing PEPE like back down here at the trend line, but these were enough. They're sizable enough to where if it does go up, I will make some pretty good gains. But if they do go down, it's not going to be the end of the world for me. So I have done a little bit of accumulating here on PEPE, but nothing absolutely gigantic because there is still more risk. I do like these purchases though. If you look at the 4-hour PEPE RSI, you can actually see it's in that oversold territory, which does open up the possible door of opportunity upwards. So I think now is a pretty decent time on PEPE. So I did a little bit of buying myself. I opened the Bitcoin chart literally like 5 minutes ago. Looking at, what are we on? SUI. SUI did something weird, kind of hard to explain here, but what ended up happening is that SUI's price came right back down to that previous golden Fibonacci zone, exactly like we spoke about recently. Its price lost the bottom side of this here, lost the bottom side of this here as well. I'd be very curious to see what happens right here. I did actually manage to pick up a little bit of SUI like right here. Not quite sure if it's going to hold. Not quite sure if it's going to create some sort of descending channel or something. So SUI is an okay buy right now, but definitely not my favorite buy right now at this exact moment. H-bar, loving it. I love what H-bar is doing. It's holding up extremely well. Back testing that bottom side golden zone. I did buy a little bit of it today. There could be a possible continuation to the downside. Don't be shocked if it does come back to this green box, but I'll be happy to buy some more H-bar here. I do think H-bar is eventually going to break out of this descending channel, so very happy with what I'm seeing. Ada Cardano, Ada. This one second. So Ada actually for a split second there, what you can see is, let me try to extend it upwards without breaking it. There we go. ADA actually for a second there broke to the bottom side of this descending channel, which is a little unusual. And it came back to back test its bottom side 786 and is trying to recover in here. So because of that, I did buy a little bit of ADA in here just because I think that there's a decent enough size chance that ADA tries to recover and break out of this descending channel. Not guaranteed, obviously. And if it does continue down and loses the golden zone, all hell's going to break loose. And it's probably coming back towards 83 cents to try to create some sort of ABC correction. Obviously, as I did mention in this morning's video, we do have to worry about this head and shoulders. So I didn't do a gigantic purchase right here, but I think, again, there's a decent enough size chance, maybe a 50-50 coin flip, that ADA tries to use this and continue upwards, maybe just gradually or something. So I did buy a little bit of ADA there. Let's see. Solana's price is in the 50 to 25% threshold. So as a result, I did do a little bit of buying on Solana. The only reason I didn't do a gigantic buy is because it did come down and lose the golden zone. When you lose the golden zone, the likelihood of you coming back towards that range low increases by a ton. So there is a possibility that Solana comes back lower towards $202. So because of that, of course, I didn't do a gigantic buy, but I pretty much always do the same thing. When cryptos like Solana are in descending channels, I buy a little bit in the gray box, a lot in the green box. That's what I'm going to continue to do. I do think eventually Solana will break towards the upside of all of this. It will break out of this. So because of that, I did a little bit of a purchase here. People are also hating on Solana. They're absolutely just shitting on it these days. And in those moments when they do that, I like to buy. The daily RSI did nuke a little bit. We are seeing a ton of bullish divergence. For example, we are now at the 40 threshold, a level that is lower than where we were at back when we were at $157. So to me, it feels like the pump for Solana is sooner rather than later, especially knowing we're in the DCA zones. Guys, if you are enjoying today's content, don't forget to smash that like button. It really helps out a ton. Looking at XRP, XLM, sorry. I love XLM. I really like what it's doing. We got the descending channel. It's maintaining very well. It's holding up extremely well. We did see it hit the green box earlier, so I did pick up a little bit of XLM today. I think we're going to be in a good spot for XLM to eventually try to work its way back up to the descending channel and maybe even break outside of it. So I did purchase a little XLM today. Looking at Bonk. Bonk's price is also in a descending channel. Very simple, guys. You guys know me. I'm a simple man, creature of habit, one would say. I tend to purchase things when they're in the bottom half of this thing. As you can see, Bonk is currently sitting right in between that 25 and 50% threshold. So I did buy a little bit of Bonk today, especially as it's retesting the macro Fibonacci resistance zone, trying to flip this red zone into some support. So obviously not a gigantic chance. I say a 50-50 coin flip that this support does hold, but I'm willing to take that gamble, buy a little bit of Bonk here. Caspa's price, I'm sure, nuked. Yep, Caspa absolutely nuked back to its macro golden Fibonacci zone. I always buy it, macro golden Fibonacci zones, especially whenever we do see an RSI, especially on something like the 4-hour that is oversold. So because of that, I do think this is a decent time to buy Caspa. So I picked up a little bit of it today. Not a huge purchase because Caspa's honestly been shit in the bed the entire year, but I did buy a little bit just in case it has a fun little run ski pretty soon here. Doge. Oh, this is an odd one. Let's see what we got here. Okay, give me 1 second. Because I remember the last thing I talked about with Doge was the fact that we created an ascending channel, and I didn't like that. We broke to the downside of the ascending channel, back tested it, flipped that support into resistance, which is bearish. We got the SR flip. Now we're on the 3-wave to the downside, retesting these previous levels of support. So what I would actually go to say is that if we do see Doge's price lose 34 cents, we're probably heading back all the way down towards 27 cents. This isn't a great time to buy Doge, in my opinion. It is in the bounce zone, so there is a chance it tries to continue up from here, but I'm not going to give it a big chance. I'm going to give it a 30% chance. So I think my team bought a little Doge today, but not much, just because of that. Not a great one. Ethereum. Ethereum's honestly not doing too bad today. I do get a little bit concerned at the thought that we might be creating some sort of double top up there. But double tops in bull markets aren't the most reliable things. I would be more inclined to believe we're creating some sort of range, and we could be towards the bottom side of the range. So I am probably going to pick up a little bit more Ethereum here. I think there's a pretty decent sized chance it comes back towards $3,500, especially considering this looks to me like it. Yeah. Maybe not. Actually, it didn't lose the golden zone. ETH is still in the golden zone from this micro swing low to swing high. So because of that, I think the ETH is a decent buy right now. Not a great buy. I give it a 5 out of 10. Decent chance at creating some sort of range here. And if I can buy spot bags, not trades, but spot bags towards the bottom side of this range, I'm willing to do so. So I bought a little bit of ETH today. Render, don't like that. I definitely don't like that. I really hope Render doesn't lose support at this golden zone. Not a buy for me right now. I want to see it recover back into this golden box. Because if you lose it, that means that you're probably coming down to hunt liquidity levels, which means that Render easily could start pulling back towards $7, which means we could see Render's price pull back could have another 10 to 12% on it. Not guaranteed, but obviously a little too risky for me right now. AVAX. AVAX is another one. Very risky stuff here. AVAX does seem to be trying to also create some sort of Ethereum-based channel. But again, we are seeing AVAX currently interacting with a major point of support. Getting a little risky here. Getting a little risky here with AVAX. If AVAX's price does get rejected here, it opens the door for a push back towards these key levels. I assume $37 to as low as $30, somewhere in this little range. So a little bit more capitulation for AVAX could be on the way. I would be looking to see the support hold before I start looking to do any purchasing outside of a tiny DCA, just in case it does make that bounce. So I wouldn't be doing any big buys on AVAX right now, personally. Let's see. Link. Chainlink is still holding up pretty well. I do like the fact that Chainlink is actually interacting a ton with this previous liquidity level right here, as you can see. Not holding up as well as I would hope for, but holding up decently well. So I don't think it's a terrible time to buy Link, but I wouldn't be buying a lot because it is there is a very decent sized chance it follows suit with the rest of the market and comes down to the 618 to 786 Fibonacci zone, which looks like about $23. So still could be some room to the downside here for Link. Not guaranteed, obviously, might hold up this previous point of resistance as support, but I'd give it a 40% chance this holds, more of a 60% chance it continues lower. Not a huge purchase guy on Link right now. Alrighty. So I think for the most part, that was the majority of the cryptos we cover here. That was a rapid fire 20-minute TA session, and that'll probably wrap up the TA session there. So what I do want to do now that we've gone about 40 minutes into why the market's pulling back, 20 minutes into TA, I think we're back. All righty. I don't know what is going on with my internet today, but I think you guys heard the last update that I gave you there. Did you guys hear the link one, the chain link one? Let me know down below. The market is being weird, or my internet is being weird today. I think a lot of people are on there or something. So yeah, but I believe that's everything. What I want to do now is transition a little bit into a Q&A of what's going on in the market. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Don't forget, you can join the community down below. You can check out the BTCC link if you do want to start trading today. You can get a 10% bonus. Although I'm not doing heavy trading, if you do and at least want to get signed up and get started, that means that they'll give you a $300 bonus if you deposit $3,000, for example. That bonus can be used for trading. Whatever profit you make from that trading, you get to keep. So it's pretty cool. It's an opportunity to make free gains, and you can kind of use it to like DCA and stuff during this type of market, which I like a lot. So feel free to go check that out. Yep. Okay. So feel free to go do that. Let me double check and make sure that I did put a. Let me go make sure that I did put all of the proper links into the description here, so you guys can go check that out if you'd like. Yep, all that's available down there for you. If you guys have a couple questions, feel free to let us know. And if not, we'll go ahead and wrap it up, guys. Don't forget, there are 1,000 of you in here. I would hope we can get like 200, 300, 400 likes. That would be great. So if you could smash that like button before we do wrap it up here, that would be amazing. Check out those links down below and ask some questions. We'll get some questions answered here. Yeah, really. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Sweet price prediction in 2025. I think we'll crack $10 or $12 probably. Should I sell render? No, I'm not selling any render. I'm just not buying anymore right now. How much did you lose last bull run? Probably 100. Or wait, last bull run? What do you mean? I made money last bull run, but I didn't have losing moments. I had for example, Safe Moon was one. I had $70,000 of Safe Moon at one point. Didn't pull profits. I rode that fucker to the ground. I had $100,000 in Anchor Protocol when that went down. Trying to think. I had about $23,000 position in Luna when that went down. I think those are the big ones. I had no money on FTX. I had about $10,000 in Celsius, and I got like half of it back. I don't remember anything else. No, the bull run is not canceled, in my opinion. Yep, that's the type of day that it is. One of them days. You just got to get used to it. Yes, I think XRP will make a comeback for sure. When do you plan on leverage trading again? What is your signal? I might get back, actually. Now that this weird shit has transpired into something, I might get back into it next week, but we just got to see. I'm actually getting legally married on Friday. The wedding is in March, but I'm getting legally married on Friday, so I'm going to be a busy man Friday. Going to be too busy getting married. So probably not any trading then. Don't like trading on weekends these days because of retail and they're weird. So next week, maybe we'll see. Best app to trade with. Let's see. It said H bar is plunging. No, H bar is not plunging. I like BTCC and CoinW the most right now. Thank you, everybody. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Going to be quite the day. Very excited. Very excited. Crypto will run regardless in 2025. This is a healthy pullback. Look at the technicals. Oh, I lost it. If we break major support, DCA and some good coins. Simple as that. Very easy. Can you explain a bit more about your exclusive group? What do we... Yeah, well, Bernardo, if you actually do go back a little bit, I did, I can't remember when it was. I think it was about the 40-minute mark. I actually showed you guys what was in the group for about 2 or 3 minutes. So feel free to go check that out down below. Another thing you can do is if you click on my YouTube channel right now and go to the homepage, the video that pops up goes over all of the Patreon servers. So you can check that out down below. Thank you, everybody. Much appreciated. All love, all love, all love. I am indeed. Yes, I'm getting legally married on Friday. And like I said, the wedding will be in March. So should be a good time. Should be a good time. Aether's good. Aether's young. Once we actually see those types of cryptos pump, I think Aether will pump. I think that'll be good. Congrats. Did you pay for the wedding in Bitcoin? No. I should have though. No, I'm glad I didn't because then I would have not had it and I wouldn't be holding it. Low leverage, long term, not a bad idea. Why is everyone sick around this time? Lizard people poisoning the air. I don't know. I don't feel sick, but I feel a little allergic to stuff right now. Love from India. Thanks, Tyler. Big dip. So doing leverage good time now. Not a lot of leverage. I definitely wouldn't be personally. Do you think it will be a quick recovery or will it take more time for the market to recover? It usually takes time after a pullback like this. It usually takes a little bit of time. So I would expect it to take a little bit of time. Price prediction for XRP 2025. Weekly. What was my price prediction? I think a 1.272 fib extension makes sense to Tyler. Or 1.618. So, I mean, the technicals point at $7.11. So that's what I'll go with. A solid, healthy 3x. Could go way further than that, but that's just my conservative guess. Elaborate a little on order books, please. Order books are very simple. They're just a way for you to be able to see whether or buy orders and sell orders in the market. So it's a level in which you can assume there will be support or resistance. They're like barriers, basically. And if the market is falling and it goes through a high order area, then that's not good. It means that the bears just smashed through a bullish wall and probably going to see this market continue lower. Do you think we'll crash more, Tyler? I'm in leverage positions that are very down. It very well might. It very well might. Second Trump's in office, the market will bull off. If everyone thinks that, it won't happen. That's a little bit of a concern for me. Yeah, the rest of the year, maybe being a little bit boring or sideways wouldn't shock me. People are in the holidays. They don't want to be freaking sad at the Christmas table, so maybe they pull back a bit. Wouldn't shock me at all. I have halved my spot bag today. I made some profits on a short-term downtrend, but not sure about the next steps. Any advice? Thanks in advance. Casual, slow reinvestment on ones that are at major support levels that are holding up very well. That's what I would do. It just depends. There's so many different factors, though. But in general, that's around what I would do. I'm not really looking to beam a ton. Yep, I'm still going to buy some more. I bought a lot yesterday, or earlier today, sorry, and I'm going to buy a little bit more tonight. Love your channel. My English is very bad. You typed that very good, so shout out to you. Much love. Much appreciated, channel. Wishing lots of love. Thanks for helping us with great advice. I try my best. I know I may sound a little off sometimes, and I might say some rather wild tinfoil shit, but until someone can prove me wrong, I won't shut up. Simple as that. If someone can prove me wrong, I'll shut up. No one can. No one has, at least. Thanks for what you're doing, sir. I'm new to the game, and I'm learning lots from people like you. I'm trying my best, Eric, so I appreciate it, and I hope I can keep helping it, homie. Why do I feel like there's going to be a huge steamy dump when Trump gets in? I hope I'm full of shit. Probably so. It wouldn't shock me. January 20th might be a very ugly day. For crypto, relax, FBI. I just meant in the sense that a sell the news event might happen in crypto. Jeez, before they knock down my door. If you have a couple thousand, which one will you put money in? I'd put it into a bunch of different ones. Yes, I think it's a good day to buy, but the market might fall for a little bit longer, so don't go too Crazy. I will be a soon to be happily married man. Thank you. I think everyone is sick because the drones are gassing us. Yo, what's going on in New Jersey? Like, I'm not trying to open that door up, but what the hell, bro? BTCC trustworthy horror stories on the internet. I haven't seen the horror stories. Feel free to share them with me, but I haven't seen any. Not like Marjax that I've seen recently, obviously. I think 2x leverage on a... Yeah, I think so. Yeah, sure. I wish you a good night. I'm still waiting for a potential crash of 99K Bitcoin to get those 4.5B. I'll see you tomorrow. Shout out to you, Leonardo. Have a great night, homie. Oh, you're in New Jersey? Oh, I bet you're sick. I would do absolutely nothing. I would just wait. If I had some extra cash, I would reinvest a little bit to lower my average cost, and I would just wait. That's the best thing to do, in my opinion. I am not an atheist. Love from Sweden, the one and only crypto teacher. Shout out to you, homie. Kian. I'm going to go Kian. Shout out to you. Much appreciated. 5x leverage is getting a little bit risky unless you're experienced. Do you think liquidation low points from earlier this month are potential good entries? People are going to consider those to be support levels, and it might go lower than those. So not super big. I would aim for my liquidations to be lower than those. And damn, my bad. One of the last times it might drop that far. I don't think so. I think we're going to have a couple more. Dude, the thing about it is you're going to have like moments like this happen all the time during bull markets. I don't know why people forget this. We see pullbacks like this all the time. It always happens. You think it wasn't the low yet on cast? I think it should be getting close, in my opinion. Tell me about TA, but also are you ace? Hey, what can you do? I've been asked way worse. By the way, thanks for the update. Love from the Netherlands. Shout out to you. Do you know Alistair Overeem in person? It's the only person from the Netherlands I know. That's not true. I know a guy named June. Crypto June. Go check him out. Is it safe to trade and buy Bit in Europe? I think so. Congrats on your marriage. Thanks to you. Thank you. Shout out to you. Thanks, you rock. I have some very good profits following you. Well, I'm very happy to hear it. Much love to you, my friend. Thank you, everybody. On how much you can deposit to buy crypto. What websites support bigger deposits like 100K and low fees? You could just do it. What I do whenever I'm depositing big amounts is I just buy it on Coinbase and then send it from Coinbase to that exchange. They can usually do crypto to exchange to exchange, or Coinbase to exchange. Deposits are usually much bigger. I've been hearing about Ondo a lot. Shout out to you, Kishal. All love. I've been hearing about Ondo a lot more. I did a little bit of early digging into it. I'd like to look into it a lot more because I'm getting that vibe from the community. That sounded so 2024. I hated it. But I'm kind of getting that vibe from everyone that Ondo is going to be a big deal. So I really need to dive into it a little more. BTCC, if you transfer crypto into Wallet, do you lose your deposit bonus because you're withdrawing crypto? Yes. If you take out your initial deposit, you will lose your bonus, I believe. Because obviously people would just deposit it, get their bonus, take their money back, and just take free money. You can't get free money. That doesn't make sense. Not yet. I feel like we are in like a January, February-esque time period from 2021. Do you think it could go lower than 90K? Yes, I think so. It depends. I would say like if you have like $50,000 or $10,000 on the side to invest, I would, maybe take $1,000 and start getting active in crypto. I think 10% makes sense. Oh no. Hey, Tyler, sold my SUI in a panic sell. Planning on taking a position early January. Do you agree with 14 USD projection price in 1 to 2 months? No, I don't think SUI will hit that. I don't think it'll hit that in 2 months. Thank you, Jason. All love, homie. You, sir, are the man. It's your boy, Chatty Chad, in the building. I want W Chad in the chat right now. Chad is my favorite Chad. Therefore, we give him W Chads anytime we'll see him. And I'll start it off. W Chad. All right. 2 crashes in 2 weeks is no coincidence. Agreed. All right. Should we buy SUI? I bought a little SUI. I don't know if that helps or not. Moonboy bullish on SUI. Ain't nothing wrong with that. How do you feel about the adoption of RUSD over time now that it's been launched? I think it'll do pretty well. I think XRP as an ecosystem is getting better. Oh, I have a video coming out tomorrow. I just bought my very first XRP meme coin. So I'm making a video about that tomorrow. I bought my first Ethereum meme coin of this cycle a couple days ago. I bought my first SUI meme coin of this cycle like 3 weeks ago, roughly. I just bought my first XRP meme coin. It's called Phoenix or something like that. Bought a little bit, not much, but why not? Make a video on it. So anyway, the reason I say that is I believe the entire Ripple ecosystem will thrive under a Trump administration because it is US based and they're going to have ties obviously in the government. And so because of that, I think it makes sense. I think RLUSD should do good. My favorite coin to buy this dip has been HBAR, oddly enough. You should make a chat in the Patreon where people post losses so people can help each other out with advice. I think just having it would be a lot of perspective. That's not a bad idea. You just got to be careful with that because you got to be careful when you feed into the losses. You know what I mean? It's like celebrate your wins, learn from your losses. So yeah, I guess you could then use it to learn. Yeah, that's not a bad deal. We'll talk about it. I'll figure it out. Maybe that makes sense. I bought a couple myself with HBAR. Yep. I'll look for PEP. It's very refreshing to see a YouTuber trading crypto using common sense and a level head mentality. New sub. Well, shout out to you, NFT Hut. I try not to make this shit complicated because the more complicated it's gotten, the more money I've lost. I feel like I found a lot of the basics early on, and in my brain, since I was new, I was like, there's no way it's just that simple. So I started adding shit on that made it more complicated, that made me more stressed, that cost me gains. So I just got very good at the basics. Well, not to say like I'm very good. That sounds weird, but you get it. God damn it. You get it. Anyway. All right. Yeah. People post gains but not see the losses too. It skews their perspective. Yeah, that's a good point. You know, it can be made out like maybe there's FOMO in the community. Like, well, everyone's making gains but me, but that's not true because people are taking losses just as much as gains, just a little bit more gains. Yeah. Maybe we can work that out. I'm fine with that. Are we having an event in the near future like the federal meeting day? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. We're in a period right now where there's a lot of people who hate crypto for some reason, but usually when we're in a moment like this, the market's getting close to a bottom. That's rather common. What's your thought? Tyler, you're a great teacher. Lots of love from Holland. Well, active 24/7 now. That is a great compliment. I appreciate it very, very much. I try my best. I will give you guys a little alpha. Come here real quick. I'll give you a little alpha. So me and another influencer, YouTuber, KOL, whatever. Well, we have recently decided that we have the same vision for crypto. So crypto's given me everything that I have. Trading, YouTube has given me everything that I have. Now, as a result of that, I've been in pursuit of trying to give back to as many people as I possibly can the same things that crypto's given me. Now, you guys know I'm doing that through the educational platform that I talked to you earlier about, right? There's another guy out there I'm very close with. He's doing the same thing. And there's a few other people who are kind of in the same boat. And we've decided to join forces and coming soon to you. Basically, imagine what I'm doing with my platform, but way bigger, way more information, coaches, one-on-one sessions, live streams, workshops, classes, analysts every day for affordable prices, like Netflix subscription-esque prices to get in, right? Stay tuned. Stay tuned. I think if we're capable of pulling this off, we will be able to educate at mass. And that's the goal. Stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. Anyway. Okay. Here we go. Do you like Jasmine? I like Jasmine. She's just been shit in the bed recently. What I find refreshing about your methodology is a similarity to long-term equity investing ideology. Yeah, you just got to make it simple. Stop doing dumb shit and just relax. Like, that's what I do. It's so much more simple. Polkadot's definitely felt dead recently. Can you tell it? No. I ain't telling you who it is because we have to finalize so much stuff. But stay tuned. Stay tuned. Some of you know because you've guessed it right. Stay tuned. I'm very excited about it. I'm excited about it for a bunch of different reasons. You know, because it's like, you guys have to understand, like, I hate when YouTubers do this whole dumb shit where they act like they're not financially incentivized to do things. Like, the prospect or just the idea that there's a possibility that we would be able to educate at mass, and then also that would be a great thing financially for us as well, is like, what better? You know, because I feel like so many businesses out there make money by not actually providing real value to people. And if you can figure out a good combination to add value to people and make money at the same time, what better combination, right? And I feel like something like that is a great thing. And so it's like, I don't rely, like the Patreon, for example. I'll be honest with you guys. Like the Patreon that we have, the Discord community, every single dollar I make from it, I've literally just been reinvesting back into it every month with coaches, workshops, live streams, whatever. So I don't rely on this money, but it is cool the fact that it can make money while helping people. I think that's sweet. And so if we could do this at max, it could be freaking insane, honestly. Anywho. How did you get started in crypto? What was your first big win? Okay. I started in crypto in 2017. That was the very first time I ever dabbled in it. My first big win was SafeMoon, funnily enough. But the issue is that it wasn't a win. And it's all about perspective, because my first bull market, I was only really dealing with like $20 or $30. You know what I mean? So I couldn't really do that much. And then as time went on, because in 2017, I was 16. As time went on, I got more money. And then as I got more money, I was able to invest more. Then I was able to invest more. I bought something called SafeMoon. SafeMoon turned into $70,000. Then it went to zero. I lost all that money, learned a big lesson, never made a mistake again. So I guess you can call that a win, because I learned more than I made, if that makes sense. I generally like the fact that you tell people you're not a financial advisor, but you also provide a good explanation of what's going on. I try my best. I appreciate that. I feel like one day I'm probably going to end up getting sued. Obviously, for what? You know what I mean? Because people do like to kind of point the blame at people, but I feel as if it's okay. Obviously, I'll win pretty easily because precedent says that. Anyway, but I feel like it's important to actually go out and just give people, like, YouTubers do this thing where I feel like they withhold their actual beliefs because they don't want to like go down that rabbit hole of, well, I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not going to. I'll at least just tell you what I'm doing. Ain't no harm in that. I'll just tell you what I'm doing. If I win, we win. If I lose, we lose. Whatever. It is what it is. So that's kind of my thought process there. All right. Good guesses. All right, let's see. That said, I still prefer cash flow product producing assets. If you ever want to get involved with individual companies, hit me up. I can send you in the right direction. I'm in Hi Finn. Yeah, send me a message on Twitter. Or if you're in the community, send me a message. Let me know who you are. Would love to chat. I'm always down to chat. The fact that you have the will to help as a community to show what you reap, and you're reaping great, brother. Thanks for your help. Absolutely, Juan. All love, homie. Much appreciated. I don't know much about Arrow. I've seen it so much recently, but I've never really looked into it. Just preface, it isn't financial advice, and don't do anything silly like some in the space. You'll be fine, man. Yo, honestly, when those YouTubers go on and say, go buy this right now, I'm like, dude, you're fucking playing with fire, brother. Do you recommend getting a premium Coinbase account? How did you manage to deposit large amounts of money? I've hit my limit. I can't seem to find a way. You're probably going to have to go Coinbase premium if you want to deposit more than your limit. Agreed. I do agree with that. Your ego won't get too high when you lose early, because you know how this market can humble you. I'm not. I can tell you that. It might, and that's okay. I think it's in a good macro structure. Eventually it'll pump. Yeah, I bought a little Pepe today. I liked it. It's going to be a green Christmas around you. That's the goal, homie. What are your thoughts on Pepe? I like it. I think it's all right. I think it should hold up pretty well. Even if it pulls back a little bit more, all good. It's over. It's selling more than the rest today, and that generally isn't a great sign. But the fact that we are back testing key levels, I think it might pump soon. I don't know if you remember me, but because of you, I've gotten to financial freedom literal years ahead because you and your teaching literally. Well, don't we just love to see that? Much appreciated to you. Shout out to you. Congratulations. It feels different when that weight's off your shoulders. That financial stress is off your shoulders. So shout out to you. All love, homie. Yeah. SafeMoon was a roughie. Shout out to you, homie. Remember you, Stein. How have you found navigating financial media rules and regs related to financial advice? Is it difficult? It's not really. I have a very good lawyer. That's kind of why I'm good. You know what I mean? Because I have a very good lawyer. So, feeling all right. Business. Go check out the first 30 minutes. I went on a tinfoil hat explanation of why lizards are losing you money. Yep, I invested into all those pre-sales. Go check my channel. I had some videos on all those pre-sales. I invested into all of them. Pepe Unchained, the game All-Star, Crypto All-Stars. Shit, there were like 3 more. I can't think of off the top of my head, but it's all good. Shout out to you from Alberta, Canada. But look, everybody, it is going to be an end of a stream there. We're pushing up towards an hour and 30 minutes. So I did just want to remind you guys, if you did enjoy it, feel free to go check out our educational platform. It is linked down for you below. There are a couple options if you do want to get more involved with me and the community. It's going great. We're pushing up towards 1,000 members right now. So if you do want to join that community, feel free. Feel free to head over to the BTCC link down below if you do want to get a 10% bonus on all of your deposits today. When you first time deposit, you can get a 10% bonus. You can start trading with it. Very good stuff. So feel free to check that out. Of course, I hope you guys enjoy. If you are new here and you did find the content valuable, smash that like button. If you hated me, and you are a lizard person, smash that dislike button. It's all good. But more than anything, if you did find it valuable, I do ask that you subscribe so that you never miss another video. But of course, I'm trying to do these live streams once or twice a week. Again, getting legally married on Friday, so I'm going to be a little bit busy. We're going to get some dinner. It's going to be a good night, good day, good time. So I'll probably be a little MIA Friday, but I'll be here the majority of the week. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I try to respond to every single comment. So feel free to message me there. And I can't wait to talk to you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.